Hey everybody, welcome back to the Caves Cast podcast. I'm Jeremy,
And I'm right.
and this week's episode is going to be all about the Ultimates.
Oh, that's a dope variant.
Yeah, dude, is Linnell Francis you
Yeah.
the wraparound? Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah. I love those wraparound variants, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have it coming in the mail. I regret not getting it. I remember you asking me at the shop. You asking me, like, hey, do you want this Wes Craig all-in variant? And
Oh yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll get the Rafa Sandoval one instead.
Yeah,
And after just it took a while for Wes Craig's art to grow on me, and now that it
yeah,
did, I'm like, I want both the artists that worked on it. I want both their variants, like both
yeah.
their.
It's funny. I think the first thing I ever maybe the first thing that I was able to recognize that was by him or his name was he did a his brother did a book for Image.
Okay,
What was it called? The Savage Starstorm or the Savage Power of Starstorm. I don't know, but he did a cover for it, and I thought the cover was really good. So I was like, I'll grab it and check it out. That book is
not good.
it's not good, dude. It's not good. I don't want to be mean about it, but it's like,
Yeah,
dude, like it's his brother and he's helping him out, but like I did not enjoy that first issue. It was like a
yeah.
total good for me.
At least
But
you got
then
a cool variant out of it, right? So,
yeah, it's a cool variant. But
yeah.
the book he's been doing, Kaya, our book's really good. I really like that book.
Oh, okay. So he
It
redeemed himself.
well, I mean, yes and no. It's not like it's like that was his book, but it
Oh,
was his
okay.
brother's writing. He was his brother writing and drawing it, I think.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
And he just was like did a cover for it and was like, yeah, like, this is my brother's book.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like Kaya's great. Like so. I should put out a list of indie stuff that the creators have, like the people that are on absolute titles and some of the people that are on the Ultimate line. Because I've read a lot like Dennis Camp. I haven't read 20th Century Man, but I keep hearing about it. I Hayden Sherman, the artist for Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
He did Into the Unbeing. Nick Dragata has done a bunch of stuff. East of West, Ghost Cage, Javier Fernandez, Rodriguez is gonna do Martian Manhunter, and I've read a bunch of stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's done,
Yeah.
you know.
He's incredible.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, let's get into the Ultimates.
Yes. This was a very fun issue. This is probably like one of my favorites. Like probably under the Doom issue. This is probably my favorite issue.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely, I agree. I would say it goes the Doom issue, this one, and then I guess whatever. I don't know. I never really thought about
Yeah.
the
But
order of
these
the
two like
others.
stand out for me, like those two.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like, and it's funny because like this whole time I'm sitting here thinking like. I feel like I read this part already. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I had read this, but then I was like, are they like re-showing when they grab the Human Torch out of the free comic book day issue?
Yeah.
And then I see the flames underneath, and I'm like, okay, no, we already did that. Good. I
Yeah. Yeah.
was like, I'm glad we're not wasting. But then you see the whole team lined up, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Which makes me wonder if they're gonna have the free comic day issue part of the trade. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, geez, we're only on issue 6. Like I feel like so much has happened in these 6 issues that like I feel like there's like 9 issues worth of stuff that's happened.
Well, I mean, yeah, like these all like this one especially feels pretty like thick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like that's the strength of this book though,
Yeah.
is like just like a regular size comic most of the time, but it's so chock full of like world building, like character building. It's
In
just like a
six
bunch.
issues, we have 11 characters, and in this issue, they just go all out. Like
Yeah,
they're all
yeah.
important.
Well, right. Like, and then I mean, I guess you could almost consider like Ultimate Universe as like the
Yeah,
first issue of this. So I mean, like I guess there are like seven and a half with the free comic book day issue, but
true.
yeah, I think this is my favorite book out of the Ultimate line.
Yeah,
I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man is still like phenomenal,
yeah,
But like I think what this book does for like the whole like the universe, it's just like unmatched, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good.
I'm really excited to see what Dennis Camp does with
Yeah.
Monster Manhunter, dude.
That's what that dude. I I should really read 20th Century Man so I can give that a shot. I
yeah, I actually I was like iffy because I never heard of Dennis Camp before this book, and now I'm just I
dude, yeah, I give like
hooked,
whatever
bro.
you got, bro. Let me have it.
Yeah.
'Cause wasn't it like wasn't he like approached and for Absolute and they basically said pick whatever character you want.
Right. And he
Which I'm
picked
like,
Manhunter, and I'm like, that's pretty
I mean,
cool. He picked
shoot, yeah.
John out of everybody because I
Yeah.
love that we don't see him have his own title ever. It's always
That
him just being head of the Justice League in the book.
yeah, yeah. Or like most useful thing he does is he just keeps the psychic link up between the leaguers so they can just talk to each other. Like you're just their glorified telephone, dude.
Exactly.
Like you burn him. He's yeah, like what else can you do? Like
Okay, he's King Kai, basically.
I mean he's cool. He is
Yeah, I
cool.
love
But
John. He's
nobody
awesome.
uses him.
Yeah.
Like he's just like just sitting the bench all the time.
Yeah.
And when he's not, he's in love with and what's her face? Uh Hot girl.
Fire.
Wasn't he having a thing with Hot girl and
Oh, Hot Girl. Yeah, that was in that was
Snyder's Justice League?
Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Human Target, him and like Fire have a flame.
How's that gonna work?
You know, he has a weakness to fire.
I mean, I know, but dude, she's making him melt every time, bro.
Yeah,
Dude.
Human Target's fire. Anyways, let's continue this.
He's like, you just make me so soft.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how he is in it. He's like crying. He's like crying and like super sensitive. And it's Human Target's so good, dude. You have to read it.
I do need to read it.
Yeah.
I want to read Danger Street too, but
Yeah, I have all of that if you want to read it, dude. I have it all. So
uh
I
you have them both?
have them both.
Man,
Yeah,
let me get through Nameless first.
got you. For
It's only
sure.
3 issues, but it's Morrison, so I know it's going to be a long read.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like cosmic horror Morrison.
Yeah. You're gonna have like multiverse maps to read and shit. So
Yeah, or I'm gonna have like thoughts of existential dread in
yeah.
the middle of the night, or I'm gonna wake up like from a nightmare that I dreamt that I was going through some nightmare realm.
Or that you're in a comic book and you're talking to your artist.
Yeah, I'm just looking up at the moon, just like, hey, down there, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Peak Morrison right there.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I've been putting it off. Like I was supposed to start it at the beginning of the month, I just never did. But uh, and then it's funny because like this whole like preparing for them to go through the door, like you think they're like at a factory, you know?
Yeah.
And they blast the doors open, and then all of a sudden you come out and you're like in like heaven, basically.
Yeah.
But it's Ta-Lo, right?
Yeah. What'd you think about that whole thing with
Like him
like his
actually like
Iron Fist, like
yeah,
too?
like him like actually like living in heaven essentially.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool that like he used like the Iron Fist to be like
Yeah,
Zen and to
yeah,
like hit his anger down and to become, you know what I mean? Like to manage his anger. And I was like, that's really cool. Like Dennis Camp is really thinking about,
yeah.
you know,
Because it's such a like for a character like the Hulk, who literally every version of him, you know, for the most part, is just a rage monster.
yeah.
So to have him be like in complete control of himself and still be this like
Well, I think it's also a thing of like, okay, I have a theory. Hear me out. I have a theory about Banner because they don't call him Bruce.
right,
What if he's Bruce's father?
David.
Yeah.
A
What if
I
he's
can see
basically
that.
like, you know, like kind of like the how they did the Howard thing?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, which would make sense considering like some of the dialogue
Yeah.
that he shares with She-Hulk.
Right.
Where he's like, I haven't. He's like, is it Jonah? Is that her name?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. It is
Joanna.
Joanna.
Uh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since you were a child. You've grown. So implying that he's probably much older than her.
Exactly.
So if he is, it's not impossible for it to be. So what does that mean for Bruce? than if
Right.
it's not Bruce.
Well, I mean, we'll see this in a little bit, but basically they take Bruce's blood more or less and inject themselves with it. Or not Bruce's.
Yeah,
They take Banner's
you know,
blood.
Hulk's blood, right?
Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me if Bruce kind of does something with that.
Yeah, because we haven't really seen any children.
No.
Well, I guess on the island, he
I don't
could
know.
be
I
on the.
just find it really conspicuous that they go out of their way to just keep calling him Banner.
Yeah. Oh, Kunlun, not
Yeah.
Talo.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. But this is practically heaven, more or
I mean,
less.
yeah, literally. Yeah, this is it's like eerie. Like the whole time, like when he's talking or like when he's like saying like I made you tea, like come
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
and
Well,
have
it's
tea.
really cool because they're about to like go through the door and they're like, "All right, we're ready." It's about to be this bombastic thing, and they go through and it's just peace and just
Yeah, like
all
Iron Man,
sitting
like Iron
there.
Lad like hypes him up with this like battle cry, and then they're like, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, talk about like a mood setter. Like Dennis Camp's really good at that, where it's like he took this like moment where it's just like you took this rage monster and you just made it zen and eerie and silent, and
Yeah.
just like what a contrast. It's really cool.
Yeah, and then he busts out the and then they yeah, he's and he it's funny because it's like almost like he was like trying to bait them into a fight. Like no like he knew that they weren't gonna take the tea and take the talking route.
Right,
So he just kept saying it. He's like, all right, you know, we could have tea. It'll be just fine. Just come
right,
sit down and have tea. I'm gonna pop this chick in the dome. Come have
yeah,
some tea. Like,
right.
and then
And
they're
it's
like,
so
well,
funny. I like the little manga thing where it's like Atomic Iron Fist, 15 Hiroshima's level. It's like so
yeah,
like Demon
or
Slayer
flying fusion
esque.
stomp. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like so Demon Slayer esque, so just like out there manga. Like
thermonuclear thunderfoot. Like,
yeah.
I like that too.
It's fun.
But
I
also
think
it's very fitting for these, you know, for these characters that are like martial artists
yeah.
and they're like their entire purpose is to like weapons of peace, you
And
know?
they're gamma beings. I mean,
Yeah,
they're powerful. Like so it's
yeah.
great, you know. And then after he pretty much yeets her up into the sky, he just pretty much now how about that tea? I made enough for everybody. Everybody's just sitting there. You see them all wide-eyed, like all of them.
Right.
Uh
And then like meanwhile you've got Doom who like the whole time is just like doing whatever he's doing but also trying to like establish a signal for them to see if he can
because he's
find them.
cut off because they went to heaven, more or
Yeah.
less. So he's trying to find them.
Yeah, dude. And this moment like as the fight continues like it's just like y- it's pretty one-sided, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're like getting like double teamed. They're just getting like outpaced, outmatched in every fight.
Yeah.
And then this guy, like the what is his name? Fat Cobra? Was that his
Yeah.
name?
Fat Cobra, yeah.
Fat
Did you
Cobra.
like that little ultimatum nod?
I was just about to turn that page, bro. I was
Dude,
literally just gonna say that. I'm like when Fat Cobra like snatches her out of the air and like eats her. I was
I
like,
was like, oh, they
no!
would make like the blob like character
I
eat.
was like, no! I was like, you
Yeah.
can't do this to me again.
Yeah.
Ah.
But she totally does the
Yeah, yeah, and then she bursts out of him like 2 pages later, and I was like, "Oh God, dude!" I
yeah.
was like, "Oh man."
I know. Not Jan.
I
Oh my
was like,
God.
"No,
But I thought that was pretty funny of just like Dennis Camp just being like, ha, here's the ultimatum.
gotcha." Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, this is twice he's trolled me, bro."
Yeah. And you can tell he's having fun, dude. You could tell just like when he announced that like
Yeah,
Doom's origin is gonna be in this book. Like you could tell he's having fun. Like
yeah, like he's just messing
smoking.
around. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like when he posts on social media, like he's pretty like he's like goofy about it.
Yeah. It's like very Chip Zdarsky-esque, where he's
Yeah. Uh,
not serious most of the time.
um, then Doom like is that's the Immortus engine, right? He's using, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So he's trying to turn back the clock like just enough to bring them back, right? Or
It's
like teleport them. I was confused by that. Is he rewinding time?
no, the Immortus thing is connected to Tony's suit. He has
Right.
like a connection to Tony's suit. So he's basically
Right.
just trying to just connect them to bring them back. Like,
Oh, so it can be used for teleport like for like
yeah.
travel like as well. I see. I thought it was just time travel.
I think it's like time travel and just able to kind of just jump dimensions. I think it's like kind of like a
Okay.
like a all thing.
I mean, that would make sense because, like, the Mortis engine since it debuted has kind of been like this universe is like MacGuffin, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like this whole time, I'm thinking it's time travel, you know, because they're just getting stomped in this fight, dude. And then Doom is getting like more and more
Worried.
like, yeah, and like anxious about it and more desperate to get them back. And
Yeah,
he
because he's worried about losing everything again.
everything, yeah,
Like he
yeah,
just like he lost the Fantastic Four, basically.
literally. And so like he sees like everybody getting thrown down, beat down. He sees Tony get crushed.
Yeah,
She-Hulk's hand like absolutely ripped apart.
right.
And so he uses it, and then they all disappear, and they come back to Doom, but Tony is dead.
Yeah,
He's gone.
seemingly dead. Yeah,
I
seemingly.
it's a bait and switch, right?
It has to be. It has to be. There's no
But
way.
what if it's not?
It, there's no way.
But what if it's not? What do we do?
I don't know. Like what?
Like
What do we do here? Like what do
because like and here's the thing is like what happens after that? Because he's kind of been like the main character.
we? And not even that. Like this whole time, I thought he eventually became like Kang later, and
Well,
like
yeah, that I mean that
like
yeah, that's what I mean. But like
yeah.
that too. Like yeah. So like I don't know, dude.
Like yeah, it completely threw me for a loop. But just to like show you guys how like fun, funny, Dennis Camp is with this. There's one part where literally it's so obvious where one of them is Fist of the Gamma Star.
Yeah.
Like Fist of the Gamma Star, and it's like, all right, you're totally just
There's kung fu moves, dude. Who cares?
yeah,
I
right.
it's yeah, like I think it was silly, but who cares? It's a comic
Yeah,
book.
no, it's fun.
It's
That's what
comics, dude.
comics should be. Like it's fun. Like
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, shit like that or the fact that even a thing called the Jurassic League even exists is the reason
yeah,
why comic books exist, bro.
yeah. And I mean, was it the best comic? No, but was it fun? Sure. Yeah,
Dude,
like
I don't want to like on a tangent, but that book is good. I don't
yeah,
want to that's I don't the I hear so much shit about that book. Oh, it's not that good. It's this. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? This is like every kid's dream comic book, bro. Like, oh, you like Batman? Cool. Oh, you like Superman? Cool. Oh, you like the Flash? Cool. You like Green Lantern? Cool. What if they were fucking dinosaurs
yeah.
and they were in a prehistoric age and it's still all the same,
And just to
but
show you how great of an idea that is, Ryan North did the same thing with the Fantastic Four.
dude,
It's
I mean,
great.
and it works. I'm telling you, dude. If
Yeah,
superheroes and dinosaurs, it works.
yeah.
It never not works.
That's still the one of the best images I've ever seen was Doom riding Doom
Dude,
T-Rex. Like
yeah,
like
it's
that
great, dude.
image is just
Dude, and then the speaking of that, did you see the stand like the booth art for New York Comic Con?
yes, I did,
That was
dude.
sick, dude.
That was. It
That
makes
was
me
so
wonder,
sick.
like, is Sorcerer Supreme Doom about to bring him back? That would be
I
sick, dude.
mean,
It
but yeah,
wouldn't surprise me if Jed McKay was like,
well,
"92 was
Ryan
awesome."
North's writing the event, so
Wait, the actual event?
yeah, One World Under Doom. He's writing the event. Starts in February, dog.
I think there's a good
Oh, dude,
of
I can't wait.
Dino Doom coming back.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that'll be great. Like, I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait for this World Under Doom. It's about time we got a Doom event. I mean, we haven't had anything like this since Secret Wars 2015.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't really been the focal point of much. Well, I mean, which is a shame because he played a pretty big role in like Ewing's Guardians and Sword and X-Men Red for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, and I know he has a
Um,
Christopher Cantwell run too, and
yeah, and he's been like a pretty big part of Venom.
yeah, that's true.
But
That's true.
that's again like, and here's the thing is I think part of what's been like what's kept Doom busy over the last few years is just been Ewing using him like in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice to finally have somebody else that's like, let's use him. Let's actually use him.
Do you think Eddie, well, now that he's Sorcerer Supreme, will be confronting Doom? Like trying to confront Doom now that he's Sorcerer Supreme? And do you think Eddie will be.
I don't know. There doesn't really seem to be any indicators that Eddie and him will be like interacting anytime soon because Eddie's about to be Carnage. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I
I swear these symbiotes just fucking, you
It's
know.
just hot potato, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
I used to. It's funny because like there was a point during this run where I'm like maybe I'm just lying to myself and I don't actually like the run as a whole,
yeah.
and maybe I'm just like giving Ewing too much of a pass. But then I've like really just leaned into like the absurdity of these stupid gooey aliens that are now also able to bring people back from the dead as zombies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're zombiotes now, right? Like,
yeah, I mean it's cool like and it's not that it's badly written, like it's written in a way
right.
that I can understand. Granted, the overall story is confusing as shit.
Yeah,
Like
dude. Yeah.
it's really convoluted, but like once you figure it out and once you can like you basically have to you basically just have to reread this book over and over and over and over, or like reread certain portions of it over and over before you can even understand it because it's constantly changing and the
Yeah.
rules don't seem like they're
Because it's
changing.
like, dude, like now they're involved with the dichotomy of the Beyonders, and it's like, I don't.
Right, right. And like I that's the stuff that I really liked. Like I liked like that he was because when Donny Cates introduced the King in Black and introduced Null and all that, it was literally just a title. It was just a name. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
He was the god of the void. He cut off the head. Like it was just this
He was
like
before
rule
the
of
Big
cool,
Bang.
right. He was this rule of cool backstory character. That's all that the King in Black Null was. And then he dies, and then Ewing gets a hold of it, and he's like, you know what? I can probably do something with this and make it an actual concept in the universe and make it mean something. And he did. And it's
Yeah,
really cool. But
yeah,
then Ram's side of the story was really, really interesting because it was really grounded and dark, and it was all about Dylan and Life Corporation, Alchemex, while Ewing focused on Eddie and the cosmic stuff and the garden and all of the Kings in Black. And then you had Ram left, for
yeah.
DC when he
Right,
signed his exclusive deal with DC. And then Groenbeck took over and relaunched Carnage because that was the other part of it too, is Ram was doing Carnage as well. And that was like him doing the God stuff. So I always thought the end of this would be like a fight for the throne, or like a fight for all time, which I guess it kind of is, but also like it's really, really changed course from what I thought it was going to be.
right,
It's not bad. It's just really messy at some points.
right. And I
And
think it doesn't help when you're switching constantly from Eddie to Dylan's point of view, and it's kind of choppy. It takes.
yeah, like had it maybe been like two books, like two separate books, it would have been good. Like it would have been a little bit better. But
Right,
it might have put a little bit more strain on Ewing and Ram to probably one, Ewing constantly having to like write every issue of Venom, but also having, to oversee the two other titles that Ram was doing and Ram having to write both books.
right.
So I don't know. I mean it's good. I do still enjoy it more than Kate's Venom, which I think is still really good, most of the way through. King in Black and it's weird because before that we got so deep into this run, I still liked King in Black quite a bit. But I feel like as time has gone on, I've just really enjoyed everything after King in Black, and King in Black doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like that's just Kate's in a nutshell to me. I feel like that's all of Kate's work to me in a nutshell, where it's like it's awesome when it's like in the moment, and then as time goes on, you're like, oh, it was just an awesome moment and nothing more. It was
Yeah, like it was like if you want a really good indicator of what like popular comics were like for Marvel, like from like 2018 to 2022, just pluck Donny Cates. Like
yeah,
that's all, like and it's not that they're going to be bad reads. They're going to be pretty
no,
good.
no.
They're going to be pretty good for the most part.
But I just remember when he was making those books, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Donny Cates is the best writer that's out right now," and like, you know what I mean? Like he was this.
Yeah, and like
Like as
his
time
Thor,
has gone
dude,
by,
his
and
Thor
it's
was
like in hindsight, I'm like, it was
right.
just okay. Like, and especially to me, I don't really like the whole, hey, I'm gonna take this one moment from this one obscure moment in Gore's backstory and just
Right. Like, and like here's the thing is like I feel like, and I've said this a few times, like sometimes I feel like it's hard for me to like get in on a run if I feel like it completely hinges on like a one particular moment happening.
right, exactly.
Which like, I mean, yes, does Ewing's run rely on the King in Black existing? It does. But it's also like this, like the story that's being told right now could still be told in a different way with a different title, and these characters could still exist.
It's just as somebody who loves that Gore run and somebody that loves that particular issue, like that Gore background issue is great.
Yeah,
But just to like go and take that moment, and I remember exactly what those two beings look like.
yeah,
And
they're
then
just clad in
for like
armor.
yeah, the like the armor type things, and it's like for Donny Cates to conflate that and be like, oh, that was a King in Black and that was a Captain Universe type character, and it's like,
Yeah, the Enigma Force or whatever it ended up being.
yeah, and it's like, what? Like, I didn't get that at all from
Yeah, it's like
I never saw Noel look like that or like a King in Black look like that. We've never seen a Captain Universe look like that, so it's very
right, like and
very forced. It felt like I'm forcing this to work.
yeah, which like and like the more I think about it, like there are quite a few I would say modern era like runs that I think are pretty good. But they do have a problem where they are just dependent on a particular concept and like that's just the focal point of the entire run and you can't get away from it. Like and I think that's part of Cates' I mean, yeah, it's all built up to Noah. Noah's built up, but like you see him so like you don't see him that much, but you hear about him so much.
Yeah.
He's
It's like
constantly being referenced in his books. He's constantly, in Venom. He's constantly
he's like
being
the Batman who laughs that's never shown. Like he's constantly his presence is always just
yes. And I while the book was coming out, I was like, man, this is really good. I really like that there's a lot of talk about him, but we're not seeing him that much. So when we do finally see him in full,
yeah,
it's gonna be like a moment.
yeah,
And when we finally see him, like in the first issue of King in Black when he hits Earth, it's a good ass moment. I was like, damn, okay.
yeah,
But I also think like part of his appeal for me then was came from Silver Surfer Black.
yeah. That did help. That
Like
was.
that I mean and like honestly, like there hasn't been a better cosmic
I
like
honestly wish that King and Black just stayed with Silver Surfer and did Silver Surfer like just did Silver Surfer Black and just
and I think another missed opportunity was not to bring back some of those characters that were introduced in that book.
yeah,
Like the three like symbiote wardens or whatever they were. They look great.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how well to translate it outside of Trad Moore's design, but it's also like, or the Void Knight. Like that was another cool concept. Like when the Silver Surfer was being like which was like when a symbiote was trying to bond with him.
right,
The design is incredible.
yeah,
Like I really like that design. So like those are things that I wish like had some carryover.
right,
Because and then the other things I thought about too is like there were a lot of abandoned stuff throughout that run. Like you had um what's his name? The guy from Annihilation Conquest, Wraith.
yeah,
You had Wraith show up. He had his one shot special about him like going through the cosmos and trying to escape Null, and it was driving him mad. And he finally sees him, and he gets teleported to Earth, and he's like, "No, this is coming," and then it zips away. You never see him after that. Not a single bit. He's not in King in Black at all. He's not in anything else after that.
right,
He's built up in like I think you see him in like one other issue throughout that whole run, maybe in one of the other one shots. You see him in his one shot, and that's it.
right,
And I remember, dude, how crazy the prices were going for his first appearance from that like two-part miniseries from back in the day, the Conquest Wraith miniseries.
yeah,
Dude, they shot up to like $100 a piece. Dude, it was nuts. It was
And then
absolutely
nothing was done
crazy.
with him.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
That's
I think that character's cool, so I would like to get his first appearance, but also it's like I'm not paying like I think it's still like $30 or $40. Like
yeah,
I'm okay. I'll wait. I'll wait
yeah,
20 years.
yeah. And to go back to Noel, I think my biggest problem with Noel is I feel like it takes away from Gore.
Mm.
Him being like, and I love Gore as like he's one of my favorite modern
He
villains.
is my favorite Marvel villain. So I hear you, bro.
Yeah. Like so for Noel to be this like, oh, that was his All Black, and he is the symbiote king, and he controls the All Black. It's like now you're just making Gore look like a peasant that just
Right, and like and here's another thing that I think about too is like and this is something that like I mean granted there are like multiple potential futures, whatever, but like Eddie having all black again, which I think he does at this point, or some version of him as the King in Black has it.
right,
How does Gore get it back, or how does Loki? Like how like because if this is supposed to be like a multiversal constant where Eddie's the King in Black and all paths lead to the eventuality, no matter what, then what does that mean for like Loki, like the King Thor miniseries, where Loki has it?
right.
You know, I don't know. This is where the time travel stuff kind of like it gets a little bit too confusing and it's kind of like whatever, but
Yeah, they want you to not think about it too much.
right,
That's
like and which is why like kind of I mean what kind of kicked off this whole tangent was like I've just leaned into the complete absurdity of the symbiotes now. Like
right,
Venom War, 9 out of 10 event, bro. Like easy. Like it's just and it's not even because I'm just like floored by everything happening in it. I've had fun. I've read every single issue of this event all the
right.
times. They're all fun.
I think it's a fun idea also of like, hey, this was supposed to be Peter's eventuality, but it's
Yeah,
not. So now it's
exactly.
yours. And
Yeah, so like the 4 issues of the Spider-Man miniseries, I don't like Raglan's art, never
right,
will, but I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was good. That third issue was a banger.
yeah,
Um, the Fantastic Four one shot was really good. I really like that. That was all about Doom and Kang fighting a proxy war
okay,
because of the Venom War. It was just all about them. Um, the Wolverine miniseries has been pretty good. I've been reading the Deadpool one. That's actually not that bad. Zombie Oats was pretty good. Uh, Carnage was fine. They've all been like decent to really good. Like so it's just been a fun event. I will say I think it's better than King in Black.
oh, cool. Well, that's good.
Probably a hot take, but
Yeah,
I as we just discussed, I don't really feel the same way that I used to about it. Hey, I used to really enjoy it. I used to be
right.
like, man, I can't wait to go back and reread this, but now I'm just like I can just not reread it ever.
Yeah,
Fine.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like for the moment it was great, and then outside of that moment, it's just
You're still never gonna sell me on Mjolnir and Silver Surfer's board with the
yeah,
axe.
that was just like I feel like that was just something to do
Rule
it.
of cool,
I can
dude.
do it, so let's do it.
It's just cool. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just cool. That's
I
just all
just
it is.
want that image and potentially an action figure of
I'm I may have said this before, but I'm really just waiting for like one writer one day to be like, the sun is evil
yeah,
because of
yeah,
all the evil shit we've thrown into it. It's an evil sun.
yeah, yeah. At this point, I mean, it wouldn't
Just let
surprise
me
me if Donny Cates came back.
Marvel. If anybody at Marvel, if any writers are listening to this,
Yeah,
some random off chance,
yeah. Somebody gets thrown
please,
in the sun and becomes sentient.
please,
Yeah,
please, just throw something, throw ego into the sun. I don't know.
right.
Make him eat the sun and make him become an evil sun. Just make it happen.
Yeah,
And you could even give it Null's power. Hell, you could do the Mangog and make it a collective conscious of all of the villains that have been thrown into the sun.
that'd be
I
cool.
don't care.
That'd
Just
be cool.
make the sun evil.
Yeah, make man
Who,
gods
who else? Carnage has been thrown into there. I
yeah,
think Sentry's been thrown into the sun. Like,
yeah.
man, I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah, I felt like that was such a cheap way to kill Noel too. Like, oh, he
Uh,
survived the Big Bang, but he died to a
it's
sun.
all right, dude, because at the end of it all, at the end of the evil sun event, it's gonna be Thrag. He's gonna come out as a skeleton.
Yep.
Like he goes through the multiverse.
Oh yeah. Eventually, eventually we'll get an Invincible crossover somewhere. So
Yeah, the final issue be written by Kirkman. And they'll
Yeah.
be like, "What the hell? Why?" And then we'll find out because Thrag comes out of the sun. Like he was the reason why it was evil.
Yeah. It'll be basically like Kirkman bringing that to the Marvel Zombies verse, more or less. It'll be like, what the hell is this? Like,
Yes, the zombie son. Oh,
yeah,
oh no.
exactly. There you go. The zombies.
Oh no.
It'll be
Oh
hilarious.
man.
It wouldn't surprise me, dude. It's only a matter of time.
I don't even do. I don't even, half the time I don't even know what the hell comics are anymore. I just read them,
Oh,
dude. I just like read them. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
my eyes
So
are barely
I hear
working.
shit get announced, and I'm like, what? Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon? What?
Dude, okay. That's gonna be pretty cool though. I'm gonna
That's
read
it.
that. I'm gonna read the Captain America and Volstagg one though.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm
That
gonna read
looks.
all. I think I want all of them.
What other ones are there?
There's six. One of
They're
them
all by
was
JMS,
really
right?
weird. One of them was really weird. One of them is just like Spider-Man versus Doctor Octopus, and I'm like, what's so strange about this? Like, though that's one of them. I think that's the last one that
Oh,
GMS is doing.
because he's doing all of them, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the
I'll have to look
last
into it.
one, it's supposed to be team ups, and all of them say like Rocket Raccoon and Doom.
But the
The
little one
last one
versus.
is Peter, like Spider-Man versus Doctor Octopus. So I'm like, what?
What if it's JMS's take on like Superior and it's like they switch bodies?
That'd be cool. That'd be
Uh,
cool. You know?
something weird to think about. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might not be bad, but you never know.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, I'm really not looking forward to the What If Galactus. Those look stupid, bro.
Yeah, it was a dumb.
Like, okay, for my biggest problem is why the hell is Beta Ray Bill not on that lineup, dude? He
Right.
beats Galactus's ass like on a Tuesday night. He's starved that man of planets on numerous occasions, and he's not fit to be a herald. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, we got less than a minute,
All
guys.
right. Yeah, I'll stop complaining.
We'll be back
Later.
with tomorrow, guys.
Yep, later.
Later.